Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. I hope you all are doing good and I hope you are back to your senses, Madridistas, because yesterday's late night drama was absolutely crazy. It was breathtaking football. You literally had to stop to take a breath, and this is why we see the game, this is why we pay, this is why we invest our time in football. The action, the thrills, the end-to-end stuff, the game literally had everything. We saw Real Madrid make a statement performance in the first half. We saw Isco rolling back the years, we saw a goalkeeper getting sent off, an outfield player standing in between the sticks, and finally Vinicius Jr. What a performance that was. The Brazilian carried Madrid on his back to get two crucial goals, and you just can't ask for anything more from the game. From a neutral point of view, it was a joy to watch, and those who have missed it, you truly have missed one of the best games of the season. So in this video, we will be talking about the events in the game. There were many tactical things that we witnessed, some of which we had discussed in the match preview, so we'll discuss all of that and let's get started. And starting by having a look at the lineup, there was Courtois with the back line of Vasquez, Militao, Nacho and Alaba. Alaba again playing in the left back position. The midfield comprised of Valverde, Modric and Isco, and up top we had Bale, Benzema and Hazard. And talking about the lineup, it was pretty much expected that Isco would be included in the side to replace Luka Modric, but something that none of us saw coming was the performance of Isco Alarcon. He was unstoppable yesterday. He was pressing, he was controlling the tempo of the game, he was winning the ball back. I don't think I have seen such energy from Isco in more than 2 years. The defenders had no idea how to stop him. He was dribbling past them like the prime years, and it seemed like the only way to stop Isco was to commit a foul and bring him down. And I have to say, I was watching the first half with a bright smile on my face because it was such a pleasant surprise to watch that performance. He was the best player on the pitch in the first half, and have a look at this instance. Isco is near the penalty box, he has the ball at his feet, and ideally a player would like to get his laces through and have a crack at goal, but Isco doesn't do that. He tries the cheeky move of chipping the ball over the keeper, and although he was marginally off target, you just know when a player is taking on shots like that, he's playing with a supreme level of confidence. He was looking sharp, his anticipation was spot on, and Isco, he really looked like a rejuvenated player yesterday. And it's not just Isco, Real Madrid overall were head and shoulders above the opposition in the first half. We saw some relentless football from the Los Blancos. Obviously, we're off to a flying start, Gareth Bale getting the goal there, but we have to talk about David Alaba again. It was him who made the goal possible. He saw Levante were holding a high line, he noticed Benzema was making a run in behind the defense, and he released the pass with sheer quality. The vision that Alaba showed here was simply exquisite. The pass was perfectly timed, ensuring Benzema was onside, and then of course Benzema and Bale combined to give Madrid the lead. And from that point, what we noticed was that Real Madrid kept growing from strength to strength. The front three were again causing a lot of problems. Benzema with the link-up play, Hazard, have a look at the instance in the 27th minute. He presses his man like a lion hunting his prey. Gareth Bale was smiling in the first half. He came very close to scoring from the free kick. It was a complicated one for the keeper to deal with, and what I really liked was that there was a lot of flexibility about the front three. David Alaba again was getting involved in attack. We saw him in the opposition's penalty box. It was another bustling performance from him on the left flank, and as we had suspected from time to time, he was cutting in to help the midfield as well. And about the first half, things looked very rosy for Madrid. We managed to silence the crowd away from home. We grew from strength to strength. Madrid were pinning back Levante in their own half, and as the halftime whistle blew, Levante were just thankful that they had not conceded anymore. Real Madrid showed some tantalizing football. The only drawback for Real Madrid in the first half was that for the kind of dominance that they showed, they should have at least got one more goal. That would have provided Madrid a 2-goal cushion. At 1-0, you always know that the opposition can hit back anytime, and that is exactly what we saw in the second half. We know Levante are a very awkward side. They're not like any other La Liga minnows who would get their heads down and take a battering from the big sides. In fact, they like playing the big boys. The Levante coach, Paco Lopez, he really knows how to get his side turned on in the big games, and they made a dream start in the second half. Real Madrid were completely unprepared. The defense was completely turned off, and it was an embarrassing way to concede because Madrid were torn apart right through the center of the pitch. The defenders were overcommitting. The Levante players kept progressing the ball. They kept taking out one man after another. They kept riding the challenges, and in the end, Roger Martin handed Levante the equalizer. Courtois tried to stop the shot. Maybe he could have done a bit more, but agonizingly, he had to see the ball slowly roll into the back of the net. And then again in the 51st minute, Jose Campagna gave Levante Levante the advantage, and we had spoken before the game that he was the man to keep an eye on. While he didn't impact the game the way he would have liked in the middle, but he came up with some sublime bit of finishing. Real Madrid looked disoriented handling the Levante attack. There were far too many defensive lapses. For example, for the second goal, we see Vasquez was trying to mark two men as the cross came in. He should have received some help from Gareth Bale and Fede Valverde. For the third goal as well, Real Madrid didn't look confident defending the free kick, which led to the goal. And if Real Madrid were in heaven in the first half, the second half brought out all the deficiencies in our game. Defensively, there's a lot of work to do. There's no point in scoring 3 goals if we allow the opposition to cut us open so many times. If we want to win a trophy, sorting out the defense should be a priority. And the presence of Mendy will certainly help. I think Carvajal as well made an instant impact coming on, so no doubt Ancelotti has a big task in hand sorting out the defensive problems. But moving on, let's talk about the hero of the night, Vinicius Jr. He deserves a 10 for his performance, and honestly, the way Vinicius Jr. was finishing off his chances, I couldn't believe my eyes. His finishing was world class on both the occasions. This is the kind of finishing we crave from Vinicius Jr. and yesterday he took it upon himself to rescue Madrid. If we analyze the 2 goals, the second goal for Madrid was a result of quality play from Carvajal, Casemiro and Vinicius. All made the right decisions in demanding circumstances. Carvajal holds off his man and passes the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro has tons of space ahead of him. He wasn't closed down by anyone. He took advantage of the space provided. He saw Vinicius making a run in behind, and it was a gorgeous pass from Casemiro. Perfectly weighted, perfectly placed, but in spite of the marvelous pass, Vinicius Jr. had a lot of work to do on his own. He kept running with pace and he made the finish look so easy. It's not easy to do that when you're running with such pace, but Vinicius, he looked so calm, he looked so mature, slotting it past the keeper. And the second goal of Vinicius, this is my favorite goal of the night. He combined with Benzema on the left flank and was so quick to take the shot. The goalkeeper could not anticipate that Vinicius was going to have a crack at goal. The angle was so tight and Vinicius chips the ball there. The ball hits the post and goes in. It looked amazing in real time, even better in slow motion. It was a finishing of the highest order, and we have been hearing Ancelotti has specifically been working to improve the finishing skills of Vinicius. And although it would be too quick to pass a verdict on Vinicius, but based on what we have seen in the past 2 games, there's definitely some improvement, and I'm really hoping that Vinicius can keep it up for the rest of the season. Vinicius, we know, he makes good runs and ends up in good positions, but if he can keep up this level of finishing, we will have an enjoyable season in front of goal. And lastly, speaking about the tactical decision of Ancelotti to play Asensio in the midfield, he spoke about using him there in the press conference and executed his plans when Real Madrid were 2 goals down. At that point, I did think it was a risky move, but Ancelotti is a bold man. He put Asensio in the middle of the park. All of Benzema, Rodrigo and Vinicius were there in the front line, and he had to play in the middle. But judging the effectiveness of the move and based on what we saw, Asensio needs more time to adapt to life in the midfield. He was trying to take attacking positions, he was running behind the defensive line of Levante as well, but as a midfielder, your role is completely different. It's a different trade. One aspect that I think is very important is the ability to keep hold of the ball, the ability to know when to increase the tempo, when to slow things down. This is something that world-class midfielders develop over the course of the career, and obviously Asensio will need time to get accustomed to playing in the midfield. He'll have to keep track of maintaining the shape of the side. He'll have to get more used to being the provider for the attackers, and that transition is going to take some time. So let's see how he progresses. It's something new that Ancelotti and Asensio are trying. There's also the defensive responsibility that he needs to come to grips with, and I'm very much sure there will be better games to try such experiments. Yesterday's game was too fast-paced. Too often there were turnovers taking place in the midfield, so it's difficult to analyze such an experiment in real time. But anyways, if we talk about the overall game, it was a great game to watch. Definitely we can take some positives from the game, but this game also showed that there are some concerns in our defensive game. Had I been the part of the Madrid board, I would have recommended Florentino Perez to bring in one of Koundé or Pau Torres. We have made some money in the market selling a few players, and using it on one quality defender could be the difference between winning a title and falling just short. So those are my thoughts from the game. Do let me know, what did you think about yesterday's thriller? Did you enjoy the game, and which player impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Glory to Madrid. And as always, a la Madrid.